Hello great people, you are welcome back to Physical Fashioners channel. My name is Fola. We appreciate as many that has been contributing to the growth of this channel by subscribing, and if you are yet to subscribe, do well to subscribe today. Thank you. Today I'll be teaching you how to make a side peplum, and to achieve that you need your top. Having made your top, you need the material. You can use the same material that you use for your top for it. You can use plain material, depends on your choice. So for this project, permit me to use this red fabric to make the peplum, because right now we are short of fabric, because this content we are dropping consumes a lot of fabric. So thank you. I might end up using this black material as my lining, or if this one remains, I can use the same thing as my lining. I'll be needing this paper stay. Then I'll be using this horsehair or crinoline for the tip of my peplum, to make it so as to give us the desired outlook. So let's go. So to make your side peplum, the first thing you have to consider is to get the center of your top, the center front. So you can do that by folding your top this way. So let the side seam kiss each other. So by so doing, you get the center, the down part of your top. So you mark it with your chalk, then open it back. So on this center that you have marked, you come to the right and to the left with between half an inch to 1 inch, depends on how wide you want that front part to be. So for this project, I'll be using 3/4, that is 0.75. I come to the right and to the left with a 0.75. Yeah. So the next thing is for me to get the waist half length, or the waist length. So for this top, the waist length is 16 inches. 16 inches. We mark it. So having done that, the next thing is for you to grab your cuff and connect it to this 3/4 that you come out with from the center. So just take your cuff this way, connect it. So you do the same thing to the other side. Then you turn your top to the back. You do the same thing. The zipper will give us the center of the back. So on the zipper, you come to the left and to the right with a 3/4. You mark it. Get the waist length. You don't need to just from the one you have in the front. Just use that to mark it, because it has to be on the equal side. Then you use your French curve as well to connect it. So having done this, we told you is a side peplum. So the next thing you do is to open your top this way, so you can see the way it goes now. So this is what you want to measure now to give you your circumference. So we measure what we are having here. To give us the circumference we have to work with. So here we have like 24 to 24.5 inches. That's what we are having here. So that will serve as our circumference now. So, and to get the the formula for this is circumference is equal to 2 pi r. So our circumference here is 24. So 24 now is equal to 2, then pi is 3.142. That is the pi, and then r. So you multiply it by these 2 times 3.142 r, then it gives us a 6.284 r. So to get the radius now will now be 24. That is our circumference, 24 over 6.284, which gives us a 3.8. So this 3.8 now, I will just use a 3. I supposed to approximate it to be 4 inches, but I will prefer using 3.5 because by the time you cut out your 360-degree flare, it used to be surplus. So I will prefer using 3.5 as my radius now. And as we have 3.5 as our radius now, you get the length that you are having here. We have 7.5 here. So you consider the seam allowance of ½ inch down here, ½ inch up here. So that makes us to result into 8.5. So the 8.5 now, you add it to the 3.5. 8.5 plus 3.5, which is our radius, now will give us like 12 inches. So it is 12 inches you are going to use to fold your fabric to cut out your 360-degree flare now. So here I have my fabric being folded into 4 equal parts now. So you can see that we are having 4 slices here, and the measurements I'm having here, 12 inches by 12 inches. That's what I have here now. Then the next thing I do now is to get my radius first, which is a 3.5. I mark it round. Then I now start marking my 8.5, which is the length of my peplum. I have my 8.5 go round now. Then I just go ahead and cut it out. I open it on one side. Yes, here we have it. Then I measure what I have here. So what we are looking for here is a 24. Yes, you can see we are having 25 inches now. So the remaining 1 inch, the excess of 1 inch will be used as our seam allowance to join it to the lining. Before I use this one to cut out the lining, we are going to shape it. Before we shape our peplum, I've gone ahead to gum the paper stay on it. So we want to shape our peplum now. To achieve it, I achieve that. Fold it into 2. So to get our, to shape our peplum now. So all you need to do is to first of all get the midpoint of this opening part, mark it, then grab your cuff, then connect it to the midpoint here, to the center here, just this way. So then the next thing you do before you finally cut it out, take your French cuff again, connect it back this way. So I'm trying to get the proper shape for this angle, because as we are covering this side, we have to consider the seam allowance both for the up and down. So I think I'll prefer using this very one. going to cut it out now. Ensure that you allow everything to be aligned. So I'm not too comfortable with this. I'll just trim it all. So we're having now. The next thing we have to do now is to go ahead and cut out our lining, just the same shape, before we now apply our horsehair, and we'll be applying the hem gum as well. Now, the next thing to do now is to place our lining on it. I've gone ahead and cut our lining the same way as this. So all you need to do is to place your lining right side to face the right side, this way. My fabric for the lining is not enough, so I have to join it in. So the next thing we do, as we have placed the right side and the right side of the lining and fabric together, then you grab your crinoline or horsehair. So you begin to place it on it. We are going to, use pin to hold it down so that it will be easier for you, because as it is, it must not be pulling. You must not be pulling the horsehair. So to achieve that, you place it this way, and the way you are going to place it, you are going to place it quarter of an inch away from the main, from the fabric and the lining. The fabric and the lining will be together. Then as you are placing your horsehair, move it away like a quarter of an inch. Then as you begin to sew it, begin to sew on the less than quarter of an inch on the horsehair. You are going to sew it together. And even to even achieve stability by the time you turn it out, it is advised, although it's not mandatory, but it is advisable you place your hem gum together with the horsehair. This is the hem gum. You will place it along with the horsehair, and you'll be sewing on the less than quarter of an inch on the horsehair. That's how you will sew it all through. But then I will have to hold it down with my pin so that it will not be pulling. So you can start applying your horsehair on the fabric as it allows you. I will be pinning it down. So by the time I want to sew it on my machine, I will place my hem gum on it. I will be sewing it together with the hem gum, so that by the time I turn it, it will give room for stability when I'm ironing it. You can see that as I'm holding it down with my pin, I ensure that it's not pulling. Because you can see, this is the horsehair for you. If you are pulling it, it will give you another result entirely. So you can see I leave quarter of an inch away before holding it down. So this is the way I will do it all through around my PEPLUM before I go ahead and sew it down. So here we are. I've sewn it round with, I sew it with less than quarter of an inch, and you can see that quarter of an inch has been, given away before the horsehair is placed. Hem gun is being sewn on it. You can see that I use the bias to secure the raw edge so that it will not be poking. So the next thing to do now is to turn it to the right side and go and iron it very well. Even before ironing, I will go ahead and top stitch on the lining. Or even if you don't top stitch, this M gum will help you to hold it down very well. You can see that at this corner I notch it so that it will be easier there. So by the time we iron it, this is the result we are going to have. Like half an inch will be folded in, and as we iron, the M gum, the M gum is A. The M gum will now be gummed to the main fabric, so thereby holding it down very well. So let me go ahead and iron it now. This is it. I've ironed it very well. You can see even without the without top stitching it, the M gum you put will already help you to allow it to lay down very well. So after ironing it, we are having excess in the lining. So I'll just go ahead and hold it down here. I'll stitch around here to hold it down. Then I cut away the excess we have in the lining. Then we now join it to our fabric. I've gone ahead to stitch it down, then I've overlocked it. So you overlock it so everything will be neater. So the next thing is to place it on our top now. So, and to do that, just get the center of this. This is the center. You can just notch it or mark it with your chalk. So now we want to put it this side now. So this is the center that will be here, that will be by the side. So you place it this way, then turn it. You can use your pin to hold it down. I'm going to open the zipper. So the zipper is open and closed. I will open it so that it will allow me to place it very well. So I just hold it down. This is the right side. So what you do is, this is the way you are going to be sewing it. So you hold it down this way. Then you sew it on the line, on the marked area. So it's this way. You sew it to this end. Then you do the same thing here. Then our side peplum will be ready. Here we have with our side peplum. You can see how bouncy it looks. So you do the same thing to this side. So for the hem, it's better you find a way of attaching your crinoline to the head, so it gives it a better result. So you can see how beautiful it looks. I'm sure you have enjoyed this video. So share with your friends. Drop your comments on the comment section, and ensure you subscribe to this channel. Thanks very much. See you next time.